Flipside Opera and Art Song Collective's Opera by the Pint are always a welcome addition to any Winnipeg summer, and now that joy will be radiating across Western Manitoba with a tour of various venues. We are joined by the brain trust, shall we call them, of Flipside Opera and Art Song Collective. Lisa Rumpel, Judy Oatway, and Aaron Hutton joining us in the Classic 107 studios. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
So maybe, well, we'll start with you here, Aaron, to say that this has been quite a fun-filled summer of these Opera by the Pints for Flipside Opera. How have you noticed things going for Flipside Opera's venue at the Little Brown Jug, and how have you seen audiences respond this summer?
So this summer was the 8th year of Opera by the Pint, generally partnered with Little Brown Jug. And this was certainly reflective of things not declining. This summer has shown some of our biggest audiences at this particular event. Tonight is our final one of the summer season, the last of 4, and I expect it to just be the best of the bunch.
Well, okay.
And that's not because I'm singing it necessarily.
Right. That's not gonna hurt the chances either.
Yeah.
So with all that success, we're now building into a new sort of idea for Opera by the Pint and what that means. Judy, maybe you can talk about how the idea to take Opera by the Pint on the road.
Yeah, for sure. So we love this event. What I think one of our favorite things is seeing, how many amazing musicians that we have at our resources and that are interested in performing. So that's amazing. And then also connecting with audiences in such a fun way. We get to meet so many of our fabulous supporters at this event and meet new people. So those are two of the elements. And we thought, well, we are all sort of have connections to the western part of the province and small towns. And we thought, let's see if this might be a really fun thing to go other places. So that was a big thought for us, was that this is a great event, super casual, super easy to kind of dip your toe into some varying styles of music, and lighthearted. So who doesn't want that? Nice way to end the summer. We are officially in fall, so that's part of it.
A great way to put a cap on patio season,
exactly.
even. So let's get down to some brass tacks here, Lisa. Where can people expect to find Opera by the Pint in the next little while in Western Manitoba?
Yeah, so on Saturday night, we'll be at Section 6 Brewing Company in Brandon, which is 1126 Princess, if anyone needs to set their GPS.
Very good.
And so that will be a lot of BU students and some people from around. As Judy mentioned, she and I are both alumni of BU, and we love it there. And I think this will be an event that people will really enjoy in that area. And then on Sunday afternoon, we'll be in Minnedosa, which is where our friend Aaron Hutton is from. Mm-hmm. And so we'll be at the Pavilion, actually, which I understand is on the lake. So that'll be really fun, because I am also from a lake town, and so I'm excited to enjoy some final lake weather this weekend.
So there's a lot of logistics that go into planning something like this, not the least of which is sourcing out the local artists that make up a lineup for something like this. What does that look like when you're reconnecting with folks at Brandon University, Lisa, about how this is all coming together and organizing repertoire and other things to make Opera by the Pint in Brandon and Minnedosa as well-oiled an operation as it is here in Winnipeg?
For sure. Well, this is our first time, as Judy mentioned, we're from, and many of our board members are also from rural areas. And so we just felt like it was really important to go beyond the perimeter once in a while. And we have actually traveled before to Brandon and to Flin Flon and Steinbach, but so we have graduated a minute ago. So definitely this being the first time, we use the resources that we have. Sarah Hall at BU is super helpful, the voice teacher there. And we're hoping that as this becomes more established and becomes part of our regular offerings, we can spread the word a little bit more. But we definitely do have and people just submit the repertoire they want to do. We're really not very particular about what people want to do. We just want people to feel good on stage and do something that they're excited to share. So
you touched on something really interesting there, Lisa, which is that idea of not curating things too much, but that sort of first experience before with something like an opera by the pint or something that is an unconventional interaction with the genre. Maybe, Judy, I'll throw this one to you, which is to say that when you think back on those first opera by the pints here in Winnipeg that you organized or even performed in, what sorts of experience are you hoping that people take away from that first encounter with something like this?
That's a really cool question. Well, I think when we started, we were. It felt very exciting and new because we didn't know what was going to happen, who was going to be there, and I think it felt that way from the performers. I remember that feeling as well. Is that I think in the really early days, there were a lot of really hungry performers looking for opportunities to like practice their audition rep and just get out in front of audiences. And I think, as the part of Flipside and also as a music teacher, I love that. And as a singer, I love seeing people really want to get out there and just share what they do, because isn't that the point? That we love what we do and we love to share stories, and we want audiences to hear that and connect. And I think there's no better audience than these Opera by the Pint audiences, because they're just totally in the palm of your hand, right up close, and they want that too. So I think that's what I see is this like real connection between our audience and our performers. Does that answer the question?
Absolutely. Well, that connection that you're talking about made all the more special by the fact that these performers are sharing this in their own communities. And you all mentioned your connections to Brandon, and for you, Aaron, to Minnedosa, your hometown. When you're taking something like this to your community, or when other performers are sharing this repertoire that they hold so dear in this very relaxed, very fun atmosphere, what does that add to your performance when you are sharing repertoire like this in, well, the place where you grew up?
Well, I always love visiting kind of my hometown part of the province, whether it be Brandon, where I started my music studies, or in Minnedosa, where I took piano lessons. I grew up. I did community musical theater there. I love getting home, but it's almost my most nervous place to perform.
Really?
Because I think it's because I just want to do well by my hometown community. So there's an extra special element that for there for me. But I know that in Minnedosa, it's a really supportive community. I felt supported over the years. The venue that we're going to be singing at is beautiful. It's the Minnedosa Pavilion right on Lake Minnedosa, like Lisa mentioned. And I know that we've had a bit of interest from the community too, so people are going to be there. And there are a couple of people who are going to perform as well, who I knew growing up from a previous part of my life. So it's going to be a really special part it's going to be a special weekend for me, and I'm just really happy to be part of this first venture past the perimeter.
So ahead of those ventures, you mentioned right off the top that Opera by the Pint taking place tonight here in Winnipeg to kick you all out of the city in style. That is taking place at Little Brown Jug. Maybe quickly, Judy, you can talk about some of the performers and some of the repertoire that we can expect from this evening.
Yeah, for sure. So tonight we do have Aaron Hutton performing, which is great. Lisa will be playing Beyond the Keys, and I'll be hosting, giving you a little context. And then we also have a lovely new singer who's recently come to Winnipeg, Sarah Shabbos, will be performing. So we're really excited to have her here, and audiences will know her from Little Opera Company in the opera that you both performed in.
Nolan,
that one, actually.
The Walk from the Garden, yes.
So Sarah has been in Winnipeg performing before, but now she has transplanted herself here. So we're excited to have her join us. And then there are a couple other wonderful performers, some recent grads from U of M. Diana Rockwell, Jaden Fraser, and Geneva Halverson as well. So that's our group tonight. I think there may be more, you never know, but I'm pretty sure that's everybody for tonight. And then, we're excited to have the other people join us as well on tour.
We'll have more information about this at our website later on this morning, classic107.com and the Classic 107 app. Aaron Hutton, Judy Oatway, and Lisa Rumpel. So wonderful to have you stopping by the Classic 107 studios, and all the best as you venture to other places to have pints, to share some opera.
Thanks.